Herzlich willkommen und ein fröhliches Hallo von eurem Heringway. Wir spielen Virtue's Last Reward weiter. Beim letzten Mal sind wir aus dem Security-Raum entkommen und Fei hatte die grandiose Idee, dass wir uns dort doch einfach mal die Aufzeichnungen und so weiter, die dort in dem Raum hinterlegt sind, vielleicht mal genauer angucken könnten, um ein paar Dinge herauszufinden. So viel Ergiebiges ist dabei gar nicht herumgekommen und über Umwege haben wir aber schlussendlich doch eine Aufzeichnung gefunden, die ganz interessant ist, die nämlich zeigt, was in den Crew Quarters passiert ist, nachdem Luna umgebracht wurde, muss man ja eigentlich so sagen. Also wir wissen jetzt zumindest, dass Clover mit Luna interagiert hat, wir wissen, dass Dio in dem Raum war und wir wissen, dass Kay weitestgehend anscheinend die Wahrheit gesagt hat, was eben seine Version der Story angeht, was eben das Finden von Lunas Leiche angeht und so. Und hatte ich beim letzten Mal gar nicht mehr thematisiert. Kurzzeitig war irgendwas mit Sigma los im Security-Raum. Irgendwie, es wirkte plötzlich alles so, vor seinem Auge wirkte alles so, als wäre plötzlich alles sehr schnell, als würde sich alles sehr schnell um ihn herum bewegen und so weiter. Fei hat sich sichtlich Sorgen gemacht um seinen Zustand aber jetzt scheint wieder alles okay zu sein, also nichts Genaues weiß man nicht, keine Ahnung, zumindest was den momentanen Zeitpunkt angeht, keine Ahnung, was da genau Phase ist. Na gut, okay, und jetzt sind wir zurückgekehrt zu den AB-Räumen und ja, jetzt schauen wir uns einfach mal an, was hier jetzt so los ist. No one's here.
Yeah. Alright, let's start looking. We'll go through the crew quarters and work our way toward the elevator. Got it?
Yeah. Hauptsache nicht trennen, Leute. Ihr müsst immer zusammenbleiben und alles ab sofort wirklich zusammen machen und so. Und dann ist das alles kein Ding. Dann werdet ihr das eventuell hier überstehen. Aber auch hier, sie haben jetzt nicht einfach einen AB-Raum geöffnet.
You search rooms 1 and 2. I'll take 3 and 4.
Got it. Tja, da ist nix. Und hinter Tür Nummer 2. Ja gut, anhand des ersten Bildes könnte man erstmal denken, hey, wo sind die Leichen hin? Alice. Luna. The most horrible thing about death is how it turns a person into a thing. It's a thing that looks like your friend, but it's not them anymore. Just this strange, cold shell, and every time you look at it, you feel a little of that coldness creeping in around the edges of your soul. Seeing death puts a heavy ball of lead in your stomach that just sits there, poisoning you. I turned and left the room.
No good. There's no one in 3 or 4. What about yours?
Same. Nobody in them. Except Alice and Luna. The lead ball pressed against the inside of my abdomen. I leaned back against the wall and let out a long, very sigh.
What's wrong? You need to get it together. What are we doing right now?
Sie ist aber ganz schön nah rangekommen. Für einen kurzen Moment habe ich mich echt erschrocken irgendwie, auf eine seltsame Art und Weise. Aber gut. Looking for the others.
Right. I know how you feel, but sitting around being miserable isn't gonna help anybody. Let's go.
Yeah, you're right. Fei turned and headed for the door at the far end. I heaved myself up off the wall and followed. Tja, dann gucken wir uns also weiter um. Wo könnten sie sein? Ja, nein, vielleicht. Ein Raum nach dem anderen. Sind ja auch mittlerweile einige Räume, die wir erkunden dürfen. Ziemlich viele Wege stehen uns offen. Ziemlich viele Gelegenheiten auch für irgendwelche Leute, um sich zu verstecken. Aber naja. Tja. Hoppla. The first thing I felt was that strange cold sweat of terror. My stomach clenched in protest, pushing a wave of bile and nausea up into my throat. So that ball turned to ice, and my legs began to tremble under its weight before they finally gave way and collapsed. They were dead. I could feel it the moment I looked at them, but I didn't want to believe it. They couldn't be dead. Perhaps they were just sleeping. The cool, limp feel of their skin under my shaking fingers dashed any hope I had left. I wrapped a trembling hand around the end of the bed and hauled myself up onto it. Even when I closed my eyes, I could still see them. My heart hammered away at my ribs, and my chest felt so tight I could barely breathe. I forced myself to take long, deep breaths. Finally, I opened my eyes.
They were in a blind spot.
What?
The security camera. Remember how we didn't see anything in the real-time feed in the security room?
Yeah. I guess the partition was in the way.
Yeah.
They are handcuffed together.
Yeah. Whoever did this really didn't want them going anywhere. The chain's been looped around the pipe below the sink.
They would have been trapped here when the doors closed. Why?
Look. See the red marks on their wrists? They were trying to get the handcuffs off.
So you're saying it wasn't one of them that did this?
Probably not.
There's a cut on Tamuji's left hand. It looks like it's probably from a knife or something similar. It must have been deep.
And the blood on his clothes probably came from that wound. I don't see any others, at least. If this was the only one, it doesn't look fatal. I don't think he died from this cut.
The penalty. When the primary doors closed, they couldn't get to them. The needles in their bracelets activated and...
Yeah.
Das ist so grausam, wenn man sich das überlegt. Man weiß ja auch nicht, wie lange die da quasi gesehen waren. Angekettet. Und die haben quasi gesehen nur auf ihr Ende gewartet. Die konnten die ganze Zeit mehr oder weniger auf die Uhr gucken und wussten genau, ab wann Schluss ist. Das ist... schlimm.
You can see the marks on their wrists from where they were injected. The tubocurarine must have killed them.
Do you think that's why they were handcuffed to the sink?
They wouldn't have been able to get through the white doors without Quark. Someone wanted to use the penalty to kill them. They didn't need to tie them up.
Yeah, you've got a point. What's wrong?
I take back what I just said.
You find something?
Yeah.
Phi bent down to pick something up and handed it to me. A cyan bracelet. This was Quark's.
Correct. It has 9 BP too. There's no mistake.
What is Quark's bracelet doing here? Wait, no, hold on. If Quark's bracelet is here, then that means...
Your heart stops. Your bracelet comes off.
No. No. This can't be happening. Not Quark.
Hey, Sigma. Calm down. Just because his bracelet's off doesn't mean Quark's dead.
But...
In fact, this could be good news. A ray of hope.
Ray of hope?
Yeah. If Quark still had his bracelet on, then he would have ended up like Tenmyoji and Clover. But he's not wearing it. That means he might have managed to avoid getting injected with tubocurarine.
You mean the bracelet came off before the doors closed?
Yeah.
That's impossible. Zero Jr. told us that they only come off when your heart stops or when you escape.
Maybe he got out then.
Right, he's got 9 BP. Wait, so you're saying he escaped, then came back and left his bracelet here? No, that's impossible too. Zero Jr. said the number 9 door only opens once. Even if he was able to get outside, he couldn't come back in.
Why do you have to be so pessimistic? Have you actually seen Quark dead, huh? You need to think positive, Sigma. Reality is what we believe it to be.
Hey. Really? So you're saying this is what we wanted to happen?
That's enough! Quark is definitely alive. He has to be. He has to be. I refuse to believe he isn't. I can't let an innocent kid like that get killed.
Wow. Wow. Hätte man ja nicht gedacht, ne? Dass sie so auf einmal so emotional sein kann. I wanted to ask if she meant Clover and Tamiuchi weren't innocent and had deserved to die, but swallowed my words. Fighting wasn't going to help us. All I could do was hope that Phi was right. Perhaps Quark was still alive. What are you doing?
Examining their bodies. Tenmyoji first.
Why?
Clues
What kind of clues?
to who might have killed them. Finding Quark's bracelet tells us something. If the killer saw it, that would make for an obvious motive.
With Quark's bracelet, Clover and Tamiuchi would have been able to go through the right doors. The killer handcuffed them to the sink to prevent that.
Right. That's my guess, at least. That's odd.
What's wrong?
I can't find anything.
Huh?
I should have found something.
What?
You remember when we ran into Tenmyoji in the rec room? He sprayed our wrists with luminol. I'm sure I saw him pull the spray bottle out of his pocket.
And now you can't find it.
Right.
Do you think the killer took it?
I don't know. I'm gonna take a look at Clover, too. Give me a minute.
Phi knelt down next to Clover as she spoke and began to gingerly examine her corpse. Then after a moment, I saw her hands stop. Bei Clover gibt's jetzt auch zugegebenermaßen nicht sonderlich viel zu untersuchen. Ja.
Look. See your thigh? Doesn't it look like there's something written there?
Yeah, it does.
I'm sorry, I'll have to move your leg a little bit.
It's written in blood. It must be Tamiuchi's.
It says 016.
What does that mean?
Hang on. I feel like I've seen that somewhere. 016. 016. I know I've seen it somewhere. It's no use. Can't remember.
Don't get my hopes up like that.
Anyway, these numbers have to have something to do with the killer. She must have written them after she got hit with the soparil. There would have been a few minutes before she went all the way under when she could have done something. I think she probably used those last minutes to tell the rest of us who'd killed her.
016, huh? Maybe, but the only people who could have done it are Kay and Dio. Assuming it wasn't one of us, I mean.
No. There's also Quark. I mean, I'm not saying he did it, just...
Damn it. This is hopeless. I can't keep up anymore. Everything here is a goddamn mystery. Like, what about that old woman we found? Who killed her? The movement of the AB room makes Luna seem the most suspicious. But when would she have done it? And we don't have a good explanation for why she would have wrapped the knife up in the handkerchief. And of course, now Luna's dead too. So who could have killed her? The footage from the security camera paired with Dio's behavior makes Clover seem like the most likely suspect. But now we'll never know for sure. Alice's killer is a complete mystery. We don't know what the hell 016 is supposed to mean. We don't have any idea where Quark's gone. What the hell does any of this mean? Who killed everyone? Was it Zero? Zero Senior? And who is Zero Senior? What the hell does he want? Why does this game even exist? And why did they kidnap us and bring us here? While we're at it, where is this? When is this? Mysteries, mysteries, mysteries. I feel like my head's about to explode. Please, Phi. Give me something. Anything. A clue, a hint. Come on. You've gotta have something.
The luminol.
Huh?
I think there's a very good chance someone took the spray bottle out of Tenmyoji's pocket.
Okay, but how is that important?
Well, let me ask you this. Why do you think they took it?
So they could test for blood?
What would they need to do in order to do that?
They just need to spray the bottle at whatever they want to test.
That's it?
No, wait, you're right. Luminol reacts with organic compounds and glows, but the glow is really faint. So you need to make it dark. You have to turn off the lights in order to see if anything's glowing.
And that would mean?
That would mean... the rec room. Phi and I raced for the door. We weren't sure what we'd find, but we knew where we were going. I had a feeling deep in my gut that whatever we found would be the breakthrough I'd been looking for. Na, da dürfen wir jetzt aber mal gespannt sein, ob da tatsächlich etwas im Rec Room zu finden ist. In jedem Fall müssen wir wieder eine Etage tiefer dafür. Ja, ich hatte es schon gesagt, das was Tenmyoji und Clover da widerfahren ist einfach nur widerlich. Wer auch immer der Killer gewesen sein mag, er hatte definitiv absolut keine Skrupel. Ich glaube, das kann man so festhalten. Aber irgendwie ist es auch ein bisschen komisch, dass er quasi 2 Leute überwältigen konnte, so auf die Art und Weise. Aber na gut, Tenmyoji wurde verletzt, ja. Der Killer hatte ein Messer in der Hand, ja. Aber ich sag mal, man weiß ja in dem Moment, worum es geht. Also Clover und Tenmyoji wussten ja im Endeffekt, worum es geht. Also hätten sie sich nicht noch ein bisschen mehr wehren können oder so? Oder es ging um ihr Leben. Also sie wären so oder so tot gewesen. Im Endeffekt. In jedem Fall ist das Licht an. Hoppla. So langsam aber sicher ist unsere Party ein bisschen ausgedünnt. Everything in my head ground to a halt. Even after all I'd seen, a room full of corpses had a profound effect. It was such a ridiculous thought that before I could stop myself, I laughed. That laugh made me think. Was laughter in this situation a defensive response designed to protect the brain from constant emotional bombardment? They say that right before an animal dies, it feels a moment of comfort. Right before death, the brain releases a huge amount of endorphins into the bloodstream. Pain is only a warning signal meant to help the body avoid death. But when death becomes a certainty, pain no longer has any use. In fact, that loss of pain can lead to incredible feats on the edge of death. Let's say that two species of animal come under attack from some overwhelming force. All of them are severely wounded and near death. Species A feels pain, but species B doesn't. The horrible pain felt by species A prevents them from moving, but because they feel no pain, some of species B will manage to drag their wounded bodies to safety and survive. As a result, species A is eliminated, and only species B manages to survive. This process of natural selection has been repeated for thousands, no millions of years. All creatures that walk the face of the earth are descended from species B. I'm no exception. That's why I can look at a room full of corpses and laugh. The genes I've been given by a million years of evolution have changed my fear into ecstasy. I guess this means you and I are the only survivors.
Don't make me keep saying it. Quark's still out there somewhere.
Yeah. You're right. He is still out there. So, would that mean he killed them? I mean, you said yourself that there was no way there was a 10th uninvited player out there when Alice was killed. And we've also refuted the possibility of Zero Senior being the 10th person. There's no 10th person. The only people alive are you, me, and Quark. That means...
You're being ridiculous. Look at their bodies. There's an axe buried in Kay's back, and the spear has been thrust all the way through Dio's stomach. Do you really think a child Quark's size could do that?
Alright then. Are you saying you killed them?
Are you insane? And just when would I have done that? I've been with you this whole time.
She was right. After the end of the second round of the AB game, Phi and I hadn't been out of each other's sight. We'd gone through the white door, explored the security office, solved puzzles, all of it together. No, wait. There had been one time when I wasn't watching. The few minutes in the security office when I'd rested on the couch. Could she have snuck out then? The rec room and the security office weren't that far away from one another. If the round trip took about a minute and she'd killed them in 4 minutes, then the whole thing would have only taken her 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes, huh? Just how long had I been out? No, that wasn't really right. I hadn't really been out. I just felt like everything was being fast-forwarded, probably because my mental processing speed had dropped. But how long had I been like that? It might have only felt like a few seconds to me, but it could have been much longer. And where had something like mental processing speed dropping come from? Hey, what you doing there, Phi?
Checking their bodies like before. I decided to start with Dio.
Find anything?
Yeah. 2 things, actually.
Oh,
Take a look at this.
a knife?
Yeah.
There's something engraved on the blade too. Myrmidons. Is that the name of the manufacturer?
Dunno. It's not a name I've ever heard of before. But look at the handle. You've seen it before, right?
This is a knife that was stabbed into Alice's chest.
Right. From the looks of it, I guess the blade is about 15 centimeters long. I'd say it's probably about 3 centimeters tall and 3 millimeters wide.
I think I've heard those numbers before.
Like, wound cavity, 150 millimeters. Wound length, 30 millimeters. Wound width, 3 millimeters.
Yeah, that's it. When Luna scanned the old woman's body, those were the numbers it gave us for the wound.
Right, well, wound cavity would be the depth of the wound. Wound length would be how long it is from top to bottom. And wound width would be how wide the flat end of the wound is. In other words...
Those numbers describe the size and shape of the wound, right?
Right.
So if they match, then that means this knife was used to kill the old woman.
Well, I was just eyeballing those measurements, so we can't be sure.
Still, why does Dio have it?
He must have gotten it from Alice.
Und deswegen war er nochmal bei den Crew Quarters. Wollte er sich nur das Messer holen? Wollte er sich absichern? I know that. What I mean is, why'd he take it? Did he want to destroy the evidence? Maybe he was the one who killed Alice.
That would match up with what we saw.
No, wait. Hold on a second. I'm getting confused here. Alice would have had that knife first, right? She picked it up when she found it wrapped in the handkerchief next to the AB room.
Right.
So Dio took it from her and stabbed her? If that's what happened, why didn't he just take the knife then? Why leave it there for us to see, then come back and get it later?
Well, we can look into that more later. First, I want you to have a look at something else.
What?
Don't you remember what I said? I found 2 things. There was the knife and... this.
Hey, this is that key.
What do you mean, that key?
We found it in the Golem Bay. Didn't have any idea what it was for then though. But Alice said it might be important, so she'd hang on to it, just in case.
So, Alice should have had this, right?
Yeah.
And now Dio's got it.
Yeah.
So when Dio took the knife, he also took Kay's key.
Wait. Case key?
Oh man. You couldn't figure it out from the shape?
Doop-de-doop. What do you mean?
Get over here. Picture's worth 1,000 words. Let me show you.
She walked over to Kay's head, knelt down on one knee, and pointed to the back of it.
You remember this, right?
Oh yeah. So, that's it. It unlocks the suit, right?
Yeah. Let's give it a shot.
Before I had time to prepare myself, Fi shoved the key into the slot and twisted. But...
It's no good. Can't get it open.
Tja, so einfach macht uns das Spiel das nicht. Why not?
Maybe the suit is powered, and it needs to be on in order to open. But with this axe in here,
You're saying it shorted the suit out or something?
I think so. At any rate, the key fits perfectly. I don't have any doubt it's for removing Kay's suit.
Do you think Dio knew that when he took it?
I wonder.
Vielleicht haben sie sich gestritten? Und haben sich gegenseitig umgebracht? Wobei das ein bisschen... So I guess we'll never know what his face really looks like.
Yeah. No way we can get that mask off with our bare hands.
I wonder who he was.
Well, I still haven't checked him over. Let's have a look. Maybe we'll find something that'll tell us who he is.
She'd only been searching a few seconds before she stopped and pulled something out of Kay's robes.
Look,
What is it?
a spray bottle with luminol in it.
That's the one Tamiyuchi had.
Yeah.
Naja, ist es wirklich die Flasche, die Tamiyuchi hatte? In dem komischen Schrank hier in dem Raum, da waren 10 Flaschen Luminol. Also im Endeffekt hätte auch jede sein können, oder? Then, does that mean Kay was the one who handcuffed them to the sink?
We don't know yet.
Why not?
Kay might have taken the spray from Tenmyoji after he died. It's possible he made it through the white doors before we did, went to the infirmary and got this.
Mal davon abgesehen, wo kommen überhaupt die Handschellen her? Amne.
Anyway, there's something I want to see. Turn off the lights.
Are you going to check for luminol reaction?
Yeah. If Kay used the spray before he died, we might still be able to see it.
There's blood everywhere in here, though.
That's okay. If he didn't spray it, there won't be a reaction from any of it. Come on. Alright, do it.
Done.
Thanks. Just as I thought. Look, Dio's left wrist.
The underside of his bracelet is glowing.
Exactly.
But why?
Because there are traces of blood on it.
Whose blood?
We've seen 5 people with serious bleeding. The old woman, Alice, Tenmyoji, and these 2 here. I'm disinclined to think this is Dio or Kay's blood, though. See? If you look, it's been wiped off. Except for the luminol, the bracelet looks clean. Why would someone wipe blood off a bracelet after being hit with an axe or stabbed with a spear, and then spray it with luminol? It doesn't make sense.
Then that leaves the old woman, Alice, and Tamiyuchi.
Right.
Do you remember what Tamiyuchi said to us in this room?
Can I see the other side of your bracelets? Please, just do it.
Do you think Tamiyuchi had figured out that one of the bracelets would have blood on it?
That would have meant he was looking for either Alice's blood or the old woman's.
I wonder which it was.
No idea. But whatever the case, Tenmyoji seemed to think that whoever had this bracelet was Zero Sr.
Just relax, okay? That's all I needed to know.
What?
Neither one of you is Zero Senior.
Are you saying that because there wasn't any reaction from the luminol?
Yeah?
Whoa, wait. Are you saying that Dio is Zero Senior?
I don't know. The only thing I can say for sure is that there's a possibility that Dio killed the other 6 victims.
Then who killed Dio?
Kay, perhaps? After he was attacked, he used the last of his strength.
Another descendant of Species B.
Huh?
Nothing. Forget about it. Anyway, if Zero Senior was Dio, then...
All of this would be over. This awful game would be over.
An ambidex gate has been opened.
Okay, jetzt wird's gruselig.
45 minutes remain until ambidex game polling closes.
What? What the hell is happening? That's impossible.
Quark.
Quark? Quark opened a gate?
Whatever. We need to get back to the Floor A warehouse. Hurry!
I know. I'm coming. Ja, warum ist das Ganze gruselig? Weil wir, wie gesagt, ja eigentlich komplett alleine hier unterwegs sind. Es könnte jetzt in dem Fall eigentlich, nach dem, was wir wissen, nur Quark sein, weil er der Einzige ist, der quasi gesehen verschwunden ist. Wir haben seine Leiche nicht gesehen. Alle anderen waren tot. Das heißt, da kann niemand sein, der irgendwie eine Tür öffnet. Aber wie kann Quark, wo soll er eine Karte herhaben? Stimmt, wir haben gar keine, wir haben doch die ganzen Personen untersucht. Keiner von denen hat eine Ambidex-Karte bei sich, oder? Heißt das, Quark hat irgendwem die Ambidex-Karte, also dann von Kay und Dio, die Karten genommen und hat da jetzt einfach die Tür geöffnet? Ah, es ist so spannend und nervenaufreibend und wir finden hier Dinge raus, die interessant sind und die ganze Sache definitiv nicht einfacher machen. Es ist echt schwer zu sagen. Also momentan, wirkt fast jeder hier irgendwie verdächtig, irgendwen mal ermordet zu haben oder so. Also da jetzt noch die richtige Schlussfolgerung rauszuziehen, das ist echt schwer. Aber nun gut. Ihr dürft jetzt an der Stelle fröhlich spekulieren und ich würde an der Stelle jetzt eine Pause machen wollen. Es ist zwar gerade sehr spannend, ich weiß, aber das ist deswegen genau der richtige Moment, um einfach mal eine Pause zu machen. Da bin ich mal wieder so fies. Und ja, dann setzen wir unser Abenteuer also beim nächsten Mal fort. Und eventuell finden wir dann ja heraus, wer das eine Ambidex-Tor da jetzt geöffnet hat. Ich sag für den Moment erstmal wieder Tschö mit Ö und hoffentlich bis ganz, ganz bald.